Welcome to today's conversation, where we'll explore a concept that has the potential to transform how you experience life: equanimity. If you've ever felt like you're at the mercy of life's highs and lows, elated one moment, crushed the next, this might be the key you didn't know you were looking for. Equanimity isn't about becoming numb or detached. It's about stepping off the exhausting roller coaster of labeling every event as good or bad and reacting to those judgments. It's about finding a steady, unshakable peace, not by withdrawing from life, but by engaging with it more fully without the mind's endless commentary. Let's start with a bold truth. The same lens that defines what's good in your life is the one that defines what's bad. The moment you celebrate something as good, you set yourself up for suffering when it inevitably changes. This isn't to say you shouldn't enjoy life. On the contrary, it's about discovering a deeper, more enduring joy, one that isn't tied to circumstances. Think about it. When something wonderful happens, the ego rushes in to claim it, to hold on to it, to amplify it. But when life inevitably shifts, that same ego reacts with resistance, despair, or anger. The cycle repeats endlessly, leaving you at the mercy of forces outside your control. Equanimity is the freedom to step out of this cycle. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that reacting to life's ups and downs is natural, that this reactivity is what makes us human. But here's the thing. It's not life's events that disturb us. It's the mind's habit of judgment. When something happens, the mind instantly labels it, placing it into neat little boxes of good or bad, success or failure. And those labels, they're the fuel for the emotional roller coaster. Without them, events are just events, waves on the surface of the ocean, rising and falling, while the depths remain untouched. The practice of equanimity allows you to find that depth within yourself, to remain steady no matter what waves come your way. To those who are skeptical or reactive, this might sound like giving up, like surrendering your ability to feel or respond to life. But equanimity doesn't make you passive, it makes you free. Imagine facing a difficult situation. Without equanimity, your reaction might be impulsive, driven by fear, anger, or the need to fix things immediately. With equanimity, you don't suppress your feelings. You simply see them for what they are, passing waves in the ocean of awareness. From this clarity, your actions are no longer reactions. They arise naturally, guided by wisdom and grounded in peace. This isn't just philosophical, it's deeply practical. The next time you feel yourself caught in a moment of joy or despair, pause and ask yourself, who is labeling this as good or bad? Who is reacting? When you look closely, you'll notice it's the ego, the part of you that craves control, that clings to pleasure and resists pain. The ego thrives on this constant labeling, but life itself doesn't make these distinctions. A sunrise doesn't declare itself beautiful, and a storm doesn't think of itself as terrible. These judgments exist only in the mind, and equanimity is the practice of seeing through them. Wisdom traditions have spoken of this for centuries. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes the yogi who remains steady in both pleasure and pain, free from attachment. Buddhism likens equanimity to a mountain, unmoved by the winds of praise or blame, success or failure. These teachings aren't about withdrawing from life's richness. They're about reclaiming it. When you stop filtering life through the lens of judgment, you begin to experience it as it truly is, vibrant, whole, and alive. The Bhagavad Gita's teachings on equanimity, particularly the ideal of the sthita prajna, are profound in their simplicity and depth. The sthita prajna, or one of steady wisdom, is not someone devoid of emotion or engagement with the world. Instead, they are deeply immersed in life, yet free from the turmoil of attachment and aversion. Krishna explains that this state arises when a person is anchored in the self, not swayed by desires, and no longer dependent on external outcomes for their sense of peace. Pleasure and pain, gain and loss, success and failure, all these dualities lose their grip, not because they disappear, but because the sthita prajna sees them for what they are, fleeting waves on the vast ocean of being. This perspective isn't escapism, it's clarity. Krishna's guidance to Arjuna highlights the practicality of this wisdom. In the heat of battle, Arjuna is paralyzed by doubt, overwhelmed by the perceived consequences of his actions. Krishna urges him to act, but to do so without attachment to the results. This is the essence of equanimity in the Gita, to engage fully in the world, fulfilling one's responsibilities while remaining untouched by the outcomes. The teaching is radical because it shifts the focus from controlling life's results to mastering one's inner response. This mastery doesn't come through force or suppression, but through a deep understanding of the impermanence of all things and a surrender to the flow of life itself. It is here that true freedom is found, not in escaping life's challenges, but in meeting them with unwavering balance. Equanimity doesn't strip life of its beauty or intensity. It simply allows you to stop clinging to the peaks and fearing the valleys. It's not about numbing yourself, but about stepping into a deeper kind of aliveness, one that isn't dictated by the ego's demands. This isn't giving up, it's letting go. Letting go of the need to control, the need to categorize, the need to resist what is. And in that letting go, you find something extraordinary, a peace that isn't dependent on external circumstances, a joy that doesn't need a reason to exist. So, what does this look like in practice? It means welcoming life as it comes, without resistance or grasping. It means seeing your emotions rise and fall, not as a problem to be fixed, but as natural expressions of being alive. It means stepping into the fullness of each moment, not because it's good or bad, but because it's real. And in that reality, you discover something profound, that the peace you've been chasing was never somewhere else. It's been here all along, waiting for you to notice. Equanimity isn't about losing yourself. It's about finding the steadiness and clarity that allow you to truly live.